Hey everyone, it's Thursday and I want to start today by working in the Florida native wildflower garden. I have some plants that I have grown and I want to get them in the ground because I want to start some more seeds and I'm out of space. We got to do a little shuffling of the things so I can get more going. These are my favorite Georgia asters. And I'm gonna get them in the ground. They're gonna be so gorgeous when they all bloom. You gonna help, Ringo? Okay, let's get these guys in the ground. Okay, they are all in and around this general area, and they're gonna be beautiful when they grow up. Look, my frog fruit looks like it's going to make it. I moved this over here, gosh, last fall maybe. Only had a little bit and it is starting to spread out. I love it. Now I'm gonna go give these guys a quick watering and then we'll move on to the next thing. There's a little golf fritillary. Yeah, I just sort of look around and see all the things I want to show you and all the things I want to do. And I overwhelm myself with all of everything. So I've got a lot of things to plant. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to show you who they are because a lot of them you were with me when we started them. And then I'll put them somewhere and I'll show you where I put them. And we'll just zip through so you can see where everybody's going. I think that'll work. Okay, let's do it. First up, 2 little Mexican sunflowers I grew from seed. Okay, so one is yellow and one is a dwarf. Let's put the dwarf one in the raised planter of zinnias that kept getting eaten, which is right there. Actually, you know what? I'll put them both in there. I'll put the yellow one towards the back. I'll put them in this end one that doesn't seem to have anything growing. Okay, be right back. Okay, so the yellow one's towards the back, which is right here. I'm behind the planter, and the dwarf one's to the front. And if you look right over here, one of the zinnias has a little bloom, yay, and it's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Up next, these are caladium bulbs, and I want them over in my shade garden. I kept the label so I could show you. They're Florida cardinal. I mean, they're Florida. Gotta have them. We're gonna plant these super quick and easy. Wait till you see. I'm just going to sprinkle them in and around through this shade garden where my rouge plants are. And I don't know who you are. Who are you? You're about to bloom. I don't know. There's a couple of them. My husband had planted some things in here. Maybe it's something he put in. Oh, look, there's a dragonfly. Today is the day of seeing dragonflies. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of run them along the front in this garden space, right kind of behind the border grass, and then right in that spot. And these have been waiting so long to get in the garden. They've been sitting here taking up space on my work table. I dug out a little trench in my garden and I'm just going to plop them in and then close the edges over. Easy as pie. Hopefully we'll be seeing all of them soon. Up next are these little cosmos seedlings. I know right where they're gonna go. I'm gonna put them right in with the little Mexican sunflower. Put them right around the edge, encircling it. And I might stick a few in with the tropical sage in there too. All right, I got those in. I'll show them to you in a minute. But while I'm here, I want to grab these guys. These are 2 sleepy hibiscus. They're wetland plants. And I have 2 planters set up as wetland gardens that have Asclepias perennis in them. So I'm going to put one in the center of each one. And we're just going to observe and see what they do. They like to get really big, so I want to see what they're going to do in a pot. And then maybe they can help my perennis hide, because as you can see, it cannot grow. The rats constantly eat it back down. I'm surprised it's still alive. Okay, so here are the cosmos. They look like they're all laying down, but I did just give them all a big drink. They should perk up again. And I also put just a few in the back and the front corner there of this raised planter. And then there's one little sleepy hibiscus. And there's the other one. So hopefully they'll grow and thrive there. And if they have to get moved out, well, you know, I'll move them. I also have 2 little zinnia plants that need homes. I think I'm actually gonna tromp back there again and put them in with those salvias, because there's plenty of space to stick 2 cute little zinnia plants in that planter. Actually, no, you know, I just looked down. I can put them in this pot right here in front of me. Okay, there they are. Oh, so cute. What's up next? I just had to take what amounted to a 2-hour break from filming, planting all these things, to go and take care of the leopardium. It means full clean out, fresh paper towels, fresh plants. There's so many adorable little guys in there. I'm going to give you a quick peek now, but we'll actually get inside and see them all at the end of this video. So this is all cleaned out, and everybody who needed fresh plants got fresh plants. And let me tell you, it's a job. If you decide to raise some, I highly recommend just a few, and you just got to be on it and keep everything clean and keep fresh plants all the time. But oh my gosh, do I love taking care of these little guys. All right, we'll be back to see them at the end of the video. You know, this time of day in my garden is so pretty, and I don't film a lot at this time of day, so I thought, let's do a Thursday evening walk just through that part of the garden, because that's where the light is just pretty incredible. And then tomorrow we'll hit the other end of the garden and the garden room and the adorableness that's in the caterpillar enclosure. So right now the sun and fun fly-in is going on here. And so there are planes flying over constantly. So you're gonna hear them in the background, and there's not a lot I can do about it. Maybe some fighter planes will fly over. Here comes a helicopter. Oh my, it's low. Look how low these guys are. Bet you didn't think you'd see that in one of my videos. Oh my gosh, look what's happening over here. See what's going on right there? Gonna be more monarch eggs for my non-existent milkweed. Okay, you do your thing, guys. We're gonna get back to the garden. See how pretty the sunlight is now? Okay, so we've been here. Everything's growing really, really nice in here. These lyre leaf sages are gonna fill in. All of those little seedlings, they're just like, we're just gonna be this big. That's all we wanna do. But some of them are starting to take off. So they're gonna make a decision, either I'm gonna thrive or I'm gonna give in to the guy beside me. So we'll watch and see what happens. And it's nice to see there's some greenery in the raised bed. I need to give it a drink. That little Mexican sunflower right there needs a drink. But I have my hoses going, so that'll be easy to do. And then this is my other wetland garden. The little swamp twin flower, that's a host plant. Hang on a second. Okay, I just spent a moment with Google to remind myself. Swamp twin flower, common buckeye. I knew it was the common buckeye, but I wanted to see if it was anybody else. But just the common buckeye. That's this little one growing here. It likes, obviously, it's swamp twin flower. It likes a wetland setting, and it's blooming and is really starting to fill in. This is its second year here, and for some reason it's decided now it's gonna make its presence known. So maybe the common buckeye will come and visit my garden too. It's even spreading over into that new little garden section. And then back here is a combination of snow. I hope that's one of the dogs making all that noise. not a snake. I don't know if you could hear it. There's a lot of rustling going on. It was Ray. Snow square stem and the scarlet hibiscus coming up in here also. Scarlet hibiscus is a host plant too. Hang on a minute. Gray hair streak, common checkered skipper, painted lady. Oh wait, there's another one. Hang on. Tropical checkered skipper, common wood nymph moth, yellow scallop moth, IO moth, and the best one is the delightful bird droppings moth. And hummingbirds love the flowers. So if you do not have a scarlet hibiscus, get thee to your nearest native plant nursery and get some. And if you don't have a wetland setting, like this is a wetland garden I put in, you can do it. You can plant it in a pot. Like this one I potted a while ago to see how it would do. It's actually doing better than the ones that are in the ground. Look at this beauty. This is a pot that has no drain holes. It holds water because that's what they like. I have a combination of the scarlet hibiscus and the water hyssop, both loving it in that container. And when these bloom, you know we'll be back checking them out again. Okay, now right across from this garden is what used to be my swamp milkweed garden, which I pretty much removed all the swamp milkweed, and now it's back to a general Florida native wetland garden. And all the Florida native wetland garden plants, well, they're still in there because they enjoy life and they like to multiply. and there are tons of them. The two main ones are Elliot's Aster and Narrowleaf Sunflower, both which put on the show more in the fall season. But what I was excited about was that they would make great places for monarch caterpillars to pupate from, because they get tall and they have little leaf branches. And so I thought, well, the swamp milkweed in here, man, that's going to be perfect. But no, along came the rats and said, no, we're not letting your swamp milkweed garden dreams come true. But that's not to say that they won't go away, and I will get some milkweed back in here. I hope to. And then my clustered bush mint is coming back beautifully. Love it. And I also have a lot of lizard's tail coming up. Those are the ones with the big wide leaves. There's some more right there. And this right here I think is sweet scent, and I'm so excited about that because last year I planted seeds and they germinated. This year I planted seeds and they did not. So that I've got a plant coming up and I'm like 85% sure it's sweet scent. I'll be able to get more seeds from it. So that's fabulous. And of course, you know, we couldn't have a garden section without tropical sage coming in. Yep, gotta have some of that. So if you want to know the difference, these ones with the wider razor's edge leaves is the Elliot's Aster, and then the ones with the longer, narrower leaves, and they've got a more rough texture too. Those are the narrowleaf sunflowers. Narrowleaf sunflowers, Elliot's Aster. And then of course the Pentas Nectar garden. We've been here a lot, so we're just gonna, you know, take a little walk by. There's the lantana we just moved in here. I'm probably gonna go ahead and plant it in the ground in this spot. And there's Rudbeckia hirta with tons of buds on it. It's gonna be gorgeous. Back in that pot there, it's whoever wins, that's what it's gonna be. Oh look, there's a little lizard guy. So this is a button bush. The sticks are, but they never put out new growth. However, there's new growth coming out from the base. So I just trimmed it back because it was not pretty looking over here, the big tall sticks. There's also salt marsh growing up in there, and I know some of the things are weeds, but then there's other things growing in there. So I'm just letting everybody grow and they can fight it out. But I'm hoping that the button bush wins. I'm gonna help it win if I need to. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Look at this lighting. How it just goes right through the flowers. Oh my gosh, I love this time of day. Is that not pretty? And look at my verbena. Oh my gosh, you know how I trimmed them all back? Well, they all bushed out and shrubbed out. They're beautiful. And here I thought I was desperately trying to save them. I thought they were at their end, but no, they're here for more, and I love it. But these, oh my gosh, the starry rosinweed, let's get in close to one. Look at that Florida sunshine just beaming through those petals. And then this delphinium behind it, same thing. Look how pretty. Oh, and wait till we look down because there's a zinnia. Look at this zinnia. Oh my gosh. Let's get in closer. This is one of the ones in the pots I just moved in here in the last video. And they're really happy here. There's another one that's getting ready to open. Look at that one. And then they're all mixed together. Look, there's some cosmos. This is the kind of garden I love. Just a bunch of stuff, and there's just flowers coming up everywhere. And the Florida sunshine's making it all happen. Look at the verbena hanging above with those salvias coming in below. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then this right here is putting on a show too, the beach verbena. Look how pretty. Look at this one. It's gorgeous. It's all just gorgeous. And the pickerel weed is putting on more buds, so we're gonna have more from it too. I should probably trim this back. I wonder if they benefit from being cut back. This is my first year with it, so we're in the experimental get to know each other stage still. I mean, look. I have my hose down there, see it? It's just laying in there. I'm just shooting water because the section needed water. But look at those sage stems with that verbena. Oh my gosh. You can see in the background, look who's trying to get some attention back there. The flame vine. Yep, it wants to be seen too. There you go, flame vine. You get to be in the spotlight also. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. I definitely see the butterflies, the monarchs, they love this flame vine. And then I turn around and there's this. Again, mishmash of flowers all intertwined. Pots, pentas. There were just two butterflies that flew through, and I think they just flew right above where my camera was pointing. Here come, there we go. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, and these zinnias are all blooming now too. Look how gorgeous they are. Spectacular. These are all the same. This must have been one of the specialty ones I got, because these aren't your regular cut and come again variety like I have coming up everywhere. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, and we have to go back and look at the pipevine obelisk. There's caterpillars. Look at that one stem hanging off. It's fun to reach over to the other obelisk. I wonder if it would. Oh, look, there's a blue jay. Look, you can see their little shadows through the leaves. Little polydamas, guys. All right, I'll flip it over so you can see. Look at those babies. And there's more. Probably all over. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, yes, there are. Oh, look at them all. There's some there. There's some there. And you know what's really cool is they're pretty safe out here just hanging, which is why I haven't taken this stem and wound it to its obelisk. Because a lizard isn't gonna like dangling, and blowing around trying to come down here. So I feel like it's like a little added protection where they're just kind of off hanging. That was a big yawn. Yeah, you tired? Now I'm giving everybody over here a drink. think there's some kind of airplane parade going on now because there is just one after another coming. Like, here comes another one. And I hear another one behind that. It's like their airplanes playing Ring Around the Rosie. All right, so now I'm taking you along while I water. Remember when I did this in the last video? Well, the tractor seat plant was right there where I'm shooting hose, and it couldn't take it. Part of the leaves were getting hit by the sun. So I moved it back there so I can see it from my garden chair, and is much happier. Look at the sunlight shining through the alocasia leaves. So pretty. You guys, I just had an inspiration. See that metal pitcher there? It's on the ground. Right there, I'm pointing to it with the hose. That would be a great pitcher to put the water hyssop in. I was just looking over at my little planter over there with that pitcher. Look at all the water hyssop that's pouring over the side. I could trim all that off and start another pitcher. Why haven't I done that yet? That pitcher's been sitting there forever. Look, I could even set it up here on this. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty that is. All right, let me go get my trimmers and get some water hyssop and get it in there. Sometimes you have things sitting around and you look at them all the time, and then all of a sudden you look at them again and you see something different they could be used for. I love stuff like that. We just have to look at this from the back side now too. It's just so pretty. Okay, let's go get some cuttings. I got my little pruners, and see all this right here? Oh yeah, there's a lot. First of all, let's get you more upright. Okay, let me switch hands. Let's see how much I got. See, I'll just grab it all from where I cut it, and then I can just plop it right down in the vase. Okay, let's go put this in, and I'll come back and get some more. Look at all this I got off of the pickerel weed. And something over here smells really good. This smells good, but it's not the same smell. There's another smell. I don't know what it is though. Now that'll grow in and fill in and be more pretty, but look at that. And when that's all full and like growing down the side, and then there'll be white peacock butterflies flying all around because that's their host plant. Oh yeah. I am having so much fun out here, but my neighbors are cooking something. It smells like Italian. It smells so good, and I am now so hungry that I've got to go in and fix a big yummy salad, but I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do more walking through the garden. Look at this cool little guy. It's like a miniature dragonfly. I know what those are, but of course it escapes me right now. I'm just glad it's here, enjoying my garden. It's Friday. You're going to be watching this tonight. It's probably long, and that's okay, right? Because there's a lot going on. I got something to show you in the garden room, so let's go see. Remember yesterday we popped in here and I showed you this? Well, first of all, look at all the frass. And second, look at the lack of leaves on the pipe vine. So I'm gonna go clean this out and get everybody fresh plants, and then I'll bring you inside and let you see all the adorableness. But I just did all this yesterday and it takes a while, so I'll be back. All right, we are all freshened up, all cleaned out. Everybody has fresh munchies, particularly these guys. But let's start down on this end. This is my second group of giant swallowtail caterpillars on their host plant, wild lime. The first group is still in their chrysalid form, and this group is not going to be far behind them because they're getting really big. So the first group needs to eclose so they can get out in the garden and lay more eggs so we can keep this whole thing going. Now, I do not have every single giant swallowtail that ever laid an egg in my area in here. So about when mine eclose, the ones out in the wild will eclose too. So we should get some more giant swallowtail action on the wild lime plants in my garden. And then right behind them are the Gulf fritillaries that are doing very well. I'm not going to bring any more of these guys in because I see more in my garden now, and I have 3 in chrysalid form, and then all these guys. Once we get all of them out there, that population should be reestablished since the hurricane, and they should be thriving. These are Gulf fritillaries on their host plant. The host plant that I have for them is Passiflora incense. And now we have a bunch of Virginia pepperweed, and on them is a group of great southern white caterpillars. It is my first time raising these guys. I am thrilled to have them. I love getting to see them grow as caterpillars. You can see there's also a little polynama swallowtail chilling out on the pepperweed. We're just going to let him do what he wants to do. So let's get in close and see one of these guys. They're pretty cool. They've got like this, well, you can see. It's like a grayish black stripe. And then they're green and yellow. They blend in very well with their plant. They remind me a little bit of sulfur caterpillars. This is the third bunch of pepperweed I brought in for the 4 of them. So they do eat pretty well, but the leaves are kind of thin, so you can see how they could eat it all pretty quickly. I'm not sure how much bigger they'll get or how soon they'll pupate, but I'll be letting you know. I want to see what their chrysalides look like too. This little polydamas swallowtail caterpillar probably came over here to molt. And one thing to note about them is they do tend to go wander around a bit, but then they end up back on their plant. But if you see them while they're wandering, you can pick them up and put them back on their plant. But if they're still and not moving, just leave them be, because they'll attach themselves to whatever they're on with their little back feet. And if you try to pick them up, you can hurt their back feet. And we don't want to do that. So just let them be. They know how to find their host plant. Now here's a polydamas swallowtail caterpillar on its actual host plant. This is Aristolochia tomentosa. These plants I order from Joyful Butterfly. And I have an affiliate link to Joyful Butterfly down in the description box of this video. A lot of you use it, and I thank you for that. So these guys eat a lot, and I have a lot of them in here only because it's the beginning of the season. And if you've been watching, you know there was a group of eggs that just weren't viable. So I kept bringing in more and more eggs, and then finally they all hatched. And I have plenty of pipevine for them. But you really wouldn't want this many in an enclosure, but this is a really large enclosure, and I have a lot of plants in here for them. And they like to be together. They tend to hang out together. So they're okay when there's more than one of them on a plant. They're used to that. And they're my favorite to raise. I just love them. See, this one here just molted. And right after they molt in this particular instar, their little faces are orange. Let me see if I can get the camera over there without bugging them too much. See how his little face is orange? Isn't that cute? It'll turn dark again though. Their little feet are so cute. I posted some pictures of their feet this morning on YouTube for you all to see. Okay, so you know I've been having issue with the, oh, there's a great southern white flying around me right now. You know how I've been having issues with the milkweed and rats coming out at night and just eating my milkweed down to nothing. So I ended up taking a few cuttings with caterpillars in, and you saw them in the video not too long ago. So I want to keep them in, but I don't just want them loose in my garden room, like sitting on the counter, because there are lizards that go in there and they'll find them and eat them. But I don't want to put them in the big lepidarium, and I don't really have room to set up another enclosure because I have a lot of plants growing in there. So I found this, and it's pretty cute. Look at this adorable little enclosure. It came in a 2-pack. So I'm gonna put those, I think there's 3 little baby monarch caterpillars in here. They can sit on my work table. They won't take up very much space at all. I love it. I'll link it in my Amazon storefront Just tap more and then more, and you'll get to the description. Just look below the video, you'll see, it'll say a couple words and it'll have the word more, ... You actually touch the word more and a little bit more will open up. And at the end of the words there will be another word more, and you touch that word more and you'll get to the whole thing. So this is adorable, and I'm gonna go put them inside, keep them safe. There's a beautiful monarch butterfly right back here on these pentas. How beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go put the little caterpillars in the enclosure. Oh, there's another monarch on the Mexican sunflower. It's a male. Of course it is. Those are the ones that hang out like this. And you know, I can't talk about taking in a few monarch caterpillars without giving my monarch disclaimer. I don't recommend raising them. I don't normally raise them, but since it's the beginning of the season, the odds of them having OE are less, and I only have like 3 of them in there, and just because of the rats. Okay, there's one. And here's another one. And there's the third one. It's a teeny tiny baby. And there they are inside. Close up the lid or the door. It's one of those, it's like a mailbox flap up. And look how cute that is, just sitting right there on my work table. That's very messy. You guys, I just came out to film my goodbye scene. There's a zebra longwing flying around back here. I hope I can catch it, not catch it, but get video of it to show you, because you know what this means. And yes, I'm gonna be tromping all back through here, looking at all of the passiflora incense that's coming up everywhere for eggs. It was just fluttering around right back in that area. Oh my gosh. Where did you go, little one? Okay, well, you know what I'm gonna be doing now? I'm gonna be hunting for that butterfly and looking for eggs. Here's a Gulf fritillary. I truly hope you have enjoyed this video. I love making these videos for you guys. And yeah, they keep getting a little longer, and yeah, you keep telling me it's okay, so here we go. We didn't even make it down to the other end of the garden in our garden walk, and that's okay, because there'll be more to show you next week. I didn't even show you the plants that I bought, but that's okay. They're still sitting in my garden room, and I can show them to you next week. I didn't unbox the thing that needs unboxed, but that's okay, because I can unbox it next week. How many times have I been saying these things? I still haven't gotten to them, and you know what? There will be more coming after that. The season is here. I love it, and I will see you in my next video. I'm gonna go look for that butterfly and look for eggs. I'll let you know if I found any. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. Tap the like button. Thumbs up. See, look, he molted. See his little exoskeleton he shut off behind him? See, so when they wander off, just leave them alone. I wonder what this little great southern white caterpillar on the end is thinking. Who's that other caterpillar on my branch with me? And why am I in the leopardium again? Because I was walking by and I saw this guy who I said, I'm not going to bring any more of those in. And well, I did. I didn't find zebra longwing eggs, but I haven't really looked yet. But I did see it again on the other side of my garden. And of course I didn't get a picture of it, but I'm so excited. Y'all know what this means. Okay, for real, ending the video. Look at how cute these guys are. Oh my gosh, oh, look at him, he's munching. You don't see them moving around often. They're very still. These are the best caterpillars. Oh my gosh, I love them.